When you get to 60, there are some things that just don't make any sense. In this video, I'm going to go through some of them. I don't know how many yet, whatever pops into my mind. It's Friday morning, I'm on the Knavesmire in York having a walk. I've just dropped Uncle Archie off at Tesco's for his weekly shop. I've got an hour to kill. It seemed like as good a time as any to make a video. The first thing that pops into my head is chasing the body beautiful. And by that, I mean six-pack abs for men. I can see the appeal of it when you're in your 20s and you're on the beach in Ayia Napa and maybe you're trying to impress the ladies. You want your beach bod, of course you do. But fast forward 40 years, you're in your 60s, well, you're probably not going to Ayia Napa anymore. If it's anything like me, you're probably going to be on a cruise ship. And the type of people that are on cruise ships, certainly the ones that I go on, tend to be a bit older. And I don't think it's a good look. Wrinkly, gnarly old parchment-like bodies out in the sun. And it's not a look that I'm interested in displaying. So me, when I'm on my holidays, keep my t-shirt on. I haven't got six-pack abs and I've got no intention of getting any. I could probably make a bit of an effort now to get some because ever since I had my gallbladder problem, I've dropped a lot of weight. I'm currently around about 13 stone, about 18% body fat. I'm sure if I pushed on, I could get six-pack abs. The next thing that pops into my mind is buying stuff, possessions, buying clothes, buying gadgets, or even buying some of the bigger stuff, cars, motorbikes. I'm into getting rid of stuff. I'm purging my possessions. My wife and I downsized when we were 60, so that's 4 years ago. We moved into a smaller house and we didn't have enough space for all the stuff. So I attacked the move with gusto and got rid of 75% of my stuff. And the purge continues. Now, my wardrobe is about a quarter of a wardrobe. My wife's got everything else. I don't need it. I would much rather have one of something that's good quality and is going to last me than 5 of something that's fast fashion. And these days I hate shopping. It's not an experience that I enjoy at all. Going to the shopping mall and having a wander around just does not appeal at all. If I want something, I'll go and shop for it. Otherwise, I don't like to do that. I'd much rather be out for a walk in nature. I'd much rather be experiencing something. And that money that I don't spend on stuff, I spend on enjoying myself, going on holiday and doing the things that I like to do with my loved ones. The next thing that pops into my mind is living in a big house. Once you get past 60 and the kids have flown the nest and there's just you, either on your own or in my case with my wife, just the two of us, there is absolutely no point having a big house with a big garden. At least I don't think so. I can't see the point of it. Spending hours in the garden, cutting the lawn, pruning the bushes, and then there's the maintenance of the thing. Big houses need a lot of maintenance. You're forever needing to paint something or repair something. And then there's the cleaning. They take some cleaning, big houses. I'd rather have something smaller that you can just lock up and leave. The house I've got here in York, I still think it's a bit too big for me and my wife. She really loves it, and I must admit I love being in the city centre, but the house is still a tad too large. I'd like to drop down again. I mean, at the moment we're around about 2,500 square feet. I'd like to drop down to around about 1,000 or 1,500 square feet, because as I said, I just don't think it makes sense to live in a big house. I'd rather spend the time having experiences and doing things and going away and visiting cities, getting around the UK, getting off to Europe, perhaps going on a cruise. And putting a lot of effort into maintaining a big house? No thanks. The next thing that's popped into my head is socialising, saying yes to social events. When you're in your 20s, you just do. You're out all the time with your friends. I mean, I was married young at 24 and my wife and I, we were going out all the time. We were always going out for couple meals, going to the nightclub together, going to the nightclub with our friends. It was just a whirlwind round of socialising. Now that I'm 64, I've just got no interest at all. I like to stay at home and cook. And my wife and I, we do like to go out. We like to go out and have a nice meal, maybe once a week, and leave it at that. The rest of the time, we enjoy ourselves going out into the countryside and walking. And the one thing that I hate is dinner parties or parties of any kind. Although I think the main reason for that is that I have got an introverted personality, and as you know, introverts don't like hanging around with large groups of people. Next up, this one is for people who can afford to retire but who don't, who justify working with all sorts of reasons, like it gives them purpose, so therefore they carry on working. So what I'm talking about here is working full time. Now, I understand there are a lot of people in the 60s that just have to keep working because they haven't built up sufficient pension or they've got commitments. Well, I'm not talking about you. This isn't for you. This is for the people who can retire but don't. It just doesn't make sense to work full time. Why would anybody want to spend 40, 50, 60 hours a week in a job when there's so much else to do? There's just so much of the world to see. It's almost like they don't seem to realise that once they hit their 60s, they're in the final chapters of life, the book of life. I'm going to make a video on the book of life in the future. But the reality is, when you hit 64, like I'm 64, as I said in my last video, I might only have about 20 years left. And how many of them are going to be good? Well, I certainly don't want to be spending those years working when I don't have to. Now, I do think that a little bit of work is good for you. My dad worked until he was just before he passed away at 74. So he retired at 56 and he did a bit of work every week. And I believe in that. It's good. You get all the benefits of work, the social aspect, the keeping your brain sharp, but it only needs to be 1 or 2 days a week. Doesn't need to be 5. And even better, if you can find some way of going self-employed or freelancing or something like that, you can work whenever you want to. If you want to take 2, 3, 4 months off to go traveling or doing something that you want to do, or it's the summer and you think, oh, I'm not going to work as much because it's lovely out, freelancing and self-employed works really well. But for those people out there who are still bashing away on the commute, grinding it out because they're getting off on power or responsibility or status or whatever it is, I just think you're mad. It just does not make any sense to me. So that's it. Those are just a few things that popped into my head. I'm going to have to go now and pick up Uncle Archie from Tesco's. So this could be part 1 of a series, really. Maybe I'll make more videos because there's a lot more things that I think don't make sense after 60 than just the ones I've talked about today. Anyway, what do you think? Do you agree or disagree with the things I've just been talking about? Leave a comment, I'd like to know. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.